This one right here, this one makes no sense at all, right? You see from the bottom of the base all the way to the top of her left wing, the tip on top, 25.5 centimeters. This is a small figure and she cost 38,000 yen. Hi and welcome back to the channel. I'm Steven. With this week's Figure News Fix, we'll be taking a look at anime scale figure pre-orders between the 8th of May to 13th of May 2023. This is a Fate Grand Order week. We have 3 amazing scale figures from FGO this week. Very expensive week for people like me. Of course, I'm not going to pre-order every single one of them, even though they are very tempting. But anyways, to discuss more, let's hop into amiami.com. And before that, as usual, we take a look at the rankings on top. A lot has changed in the past hour, right? Right now, we have 5th place, we have I from Oshinoko. That is a Furyu figure, a very affordable one. 7th place, we have rider Murasaki Shikibu from Fate's Grand Order by Alter. That's a 1/6 scale, by the way. Fantastic. And in 10th place, we have a 1/4 scale figure of Tamamo Vitch. You see, earlier this morning, like 3 or 4 hours ago, that figure of Tamamo was in 1st place. Yes, 1st place. So she was actually very popular. A lot of people have pre-ordered her, but within hours, it dropped to 10th place. I have no idea why. Yeah, we have something from Fairy Tail in the 1st place. You know, those are very generic, popular mainstream anime. So possibly stuff like that, they get a lot more orders. Nothing to be surprised, right? Okay, so now 13th of May, there are no scale figures. We go down to the 12th of May, Fridays as usual. Very busy day every Friday. So the first one over here from Wing Company, we have For Slender Lance Writer, 1/7 scale for almost 27,000 yen. Is this an original character? No idea. It's from For Slender Lance Writer. Let me know down in the comments below if you know something about this series. Very science fiction feel over here, but at the same time, while the figure appears to be really detailed, to me 27,000 yen feels kind of high. It is very expensive. I'm a fan of science fiction stuff, you see, and character designs like this, they actually appeal to me. But this is like, how do I put it, the FGO character, Lancer class, and for something with a relatively simple pose, wearing a black color suit and a helmet that can be, can be toggled on and off, 27k, this is really expensive, yeah. So it is only main figure and base, no extra parts, 27 centimeters tall. Yeah, 27 centimeters is pretty tall for 1/7 scale, but yeah, this is pretty expensive. I like the figure, but I can't really justify the price, right? 27k for this. Next one here, we have a 1/4 scale B-style from Freeing Shira Ume complete figure for 38,500 yen, standard for 1/4 nowadays. I'm the kind of person who does not necessarily need to know the character's background in order to like the figure enough to purchase it. I don't know anything about this character over here, but at the same time, if I were to look at the character design standpoint, this does not appeal to me either, right? So yeah, not really interested in this one. The next one here from Alice Get Aegis, an ongoing seasonal anime, probably adapted from some game, I think I'm guessing over here. We have Shitara Kaneshiya at 1/8 scale under Our Treasures 1/8 scale Summer Queen series. Our Treasure 1/8 scale, they are like the modern day Wave Beach Queen, you know. They have a big series of, yeah, swimsuit figures at a budget. 17,000 yen is considered low by today's standards. However, for this figure over here, I think you guys could already guess why I don't like this figure, because there is a giant rod being shoved up her ass, right? That is not the way to really display a figure, design a figure. Understandably, the figure is going to lean really badly within weeks if there is no additional support rod. For this figure, the weight distribution is way off, but putting that aside, the character design isn't that attractive either. Oh, okay. That is actually supporting on the tail, not up her butt, but I'm concerned about the tail as well. Will it break off if you are not careful enough in handling the figure? So that is one major weak point on the figure. Oh, you can remove the tail and make use of the hole left behind to plug in the rod. Interesting. Of course, with our treasure figures, there is a second option. And for those of you who are more ambitious, as usual, our treasure has a second version which costs half as much. This is a half complete assembly figure. You have to do some of the painting work and finishing, I suppose, like top coat, I don't know how half complete the figure is, but the figure is already painted to some extent from what I know. However, I have no experience with their figures. They actually have a trio of FGO swimsuit figures, which I'm kind of interested in, just hoping to score a decent deal on them, right? These figures, our treasure figures, they actually are rather heavily discounted after release. So perhaps not pre-order them and wait for after release, especially for seasonal anime characters. The next one here from Mega House, we have Lucria, Uma Musume, Pretty Derby, Sakura Bakushin at 1/7 scale, 24,000 yen my Mega House. Mega House stuff, they are kind of pricey, but at the same time, 1/7 scale, 24k, kind of standard pricing nowadays. So there is an alternative faceplate and a jewel sticker as well as a supporting pole for the left leg. I knew it. You'll see this is the problem I have with some product photos from a number of figure companies, like this one over here being an excellent example. We experienced figure collectors could tell this figure is going to lean over time. The figure, even with metal foot pegs, that is not enough for a pose like this one. The figure is literally leaning forward by 45 degrees, That is not a good thing in terms of weight distribution, yet in these product photos there are no transparent rods being shown, as if the figure does not need one, but it actually needs one. And as you could see from the product description earlier at the bottom of the page, there is a support rod in the box. So I find this to be kind of misleading advertising in some way. The plastic rod should really be a part of these product photos, yeah. This isn't a product of creative photography where you want the figure to look as good as possible. In that sense, I would understand why you wouldn't want a rod over there. But for product photos, really, the rod should be a part of the figure. As for whether you should pre-order this figure, well, Uma Musume is crazy popular in Japan, from what I know, just like Love Live, but I haven't heard people talking much about them outside of Japan. That's the thing. However, for the pose of this figure, very attractive pose, right? A character sprinting forward, almost dashing forward in a 45-degree lean. That is something unusual, not common for anime figures, but yeah, the long-term leaning issues could be a concern for some of you. The next one here from Fairy Tail Final Series, we have Urza Scarlet, 1/8 scale from Belle Fine for 25,000 yen almost. Alright, at first glance, this figure looks fantastic. In fact, this looks like FGO's John Diak. That giant flag wearing armor. It looks fantastic, this figure. The only problem is the brand behind this figure being Belle Fine, right? I'm sorry, Belle Fine, but I regard you guys to be one of the bottom 10s in terms of all of the Japanese figure companies out there, in terms of quality control, detail, and paint job, everything, right? You guys are at the bottom 10. Of course, the figure is not going to be as bad as any Griffin Enterprise train wreck from the past, but their stuff are known to be not as detailed as what you see in these official product photos. Oh, okay, I'm going to change my mind right here and say 25,000 yen is not a bad deal really. You're getting a complete second set of torso over here. You can swap the armor part to this school uniform part, I'm assuming, but I don't know why you would want to do that. You will need to buy 2 units of the very same figure and display her as 2 different versions over here. But it is nice that they are giving us that option for only 25,000 yen at 1/5 scale, 1/7 scale. But my points on Belle Fine's quality control maintains, right? They are kind of inconsistent. Is it just me or Urza looks kind of buffy over here, like more muscular than she actually is in the anime or in other figures of her? Especially with this version over here. Two torsos, very nice. You see, I did not even look at the smaller picture on the top right corner over there before clicking on it. Will you pre-order this figure? Knowing that the company is, a hit or miss, let me know down in the comments below. The next one here, from Fate's Grand Order, this is my favorite figure of the week. 1x6 scale rider Murasaki Shikibu. This is a single shipment. Wow, the box is going to be big. 36,360 yen, you see. She is actually 38k. Ouch. Is this the first time Alter has made a 1x6 scale figure? No, probably not, but it is probably the first time in many years, right? Before that, we take a look at the dimensions at the bottom. 27 centimeters all the way to the top of that rod she is holding, of course. I have heard some people saying, even though this is a 1x6 scale, she is actually slightly bigger, more like a 1x5.5, and if that is true, like she is bigger than expected, 36,000 yen is actually not a big price, but I certainly underestimated the pricing over here because in one of my posts on this channel, I said that she will be about 30k. No, I was way off. This is 36k, right? But nonetheless, this is a very good purchase for all of you Fate's Grand Order fans just like me. Will I buy one? Absolutely yes. After release, of course, after release. I'm not going to pre-order one right now. Really, there is nothing not to like about this figure. Very detailed, very nice face expression over there. I am already a big fan of the caster version by Alter. Can check out the review right up here. That was a great figure, but that was a 1x7 scale. This is a 1x6 scale, but at the same time, I have also given up on matching all my figures from the same series by the same scale. This company will be doing 1x8, the other 1x7. Look at Good Smile Company, they do their Saber figures 1x7, but Rider Artoria 1x8 because the horse she is riding on is huge. So because no figure companies, they adjust the scale based on the price point they are trying to hit, I have long given up on matching all my figures going by the same scale for the same series. There's no point, right? This is a must-have for all of you FGO fans out there. Very expensive, but I would say it is worth it. The next one here from Oshi, we have a 1x7 scale figure of I. This is by Furyu at discount. If you pre-order early for 16,600 yen on Ami, that is a 3,000 yen savings. Wow, Furyu, what happened? Why is this so cheap? You should be charging more. This should be a 28,000 yen figure, right? Furyu. Yeah, this shouldn't cost more than 20k, seriously. And if I were to compare this figure to the Kadokawa version which went on pre-order like a couple of weeks ago, there are pros and cons between the two versions, right? I'm putting up the Kadokawa version on screen, and as you can see, the Kadokawa version, the outfit is a lot more details, a lot of frills. I love frilly clothes on girls, right? Gothic Lolita style, I love those. So to me, the Kadokawa version has a slight advantage in terms of the details department. But when you look at the hair, this is where Furyu's version is so much better because Furyu's version, the hair has a lot more gradients in the paint job, right? Like you see how the colors shift from dark violet blue to lighter purple. That color shift, that gradient over there, I love that a lot. This is something I look for in many anime scale figures. So in terms of the color gradients and the shading, the Furyu version appears to be better, at least based on these product photos, but the Kadokawa version is more detailed on the outfit. So which one do you prefer? Please do let me know down in the comments below. For me, this is a very tough choice, right? I like both for different reasons. And if money is no object, buy both. Just get both. This one is 16,600 if you pre-order early. I mean, you are already getting a 3,000 yen off for being an early bird, so it might not be a bad idea to pre-order. Of course, there is a chance where aftermarket values will drop down to 14,000, 13,000. It is possible. But 16k for something like this isn't too bad. The next figure over here, Yuri is my job. Mitsuki Ayanokoji 1x7 scale, 19,000 yen by Furyu as well. And then we have another one, Yeah, from the same series, we have Hime Shirasagi 1/7 scale for the same price, 19,000 yen. Well, seasonal anime, right? I usually don't want to spend too much on seasonal anime. The good news is these two figures do not cost as much. Yeah, less than 20,000 yen each. I did not even watch the anime. I know that it is ongoing. There are like 6 episodes now. I think I haven't started watching the anime yet. I should give it a try. But seasonal anime stuff, yeah, I'll be skipping them. I usually don't buy them. There are always exceptions, of course. But for a seasonal anime which I did not even bother to start watching when 6 episodes are out by now, I doubt that I'm going to bother with these figures, right? Next one here, is this a re-release? I think so. This figure, I was very attracted to her. I saw her in this figure shop in Taobao. That was years ago, yeah. And she was on discount. And I'm the kind of guy who loves JK figures. I love JKs, right? Something like this appeals to me a lot. And for under 17,000 yen, this is not a bad buy really. I've seen pictures of this figure, right? Rika Shiramine-chan, complete figure from Coffee Kizoku illustration. I've seen the actual figure in person. I know that this is a Union Creative figure and we all know that they are not very consistent, but this is a rather decent one. If you missed out the first release, then this is your second chance over here. The fact that Union Creative even bothered to re-release this figure, maybe this is actually a popular one. That is a nice ass, by the way. I like this a lot. The pose is very photogenic as well. Next one here, Kagura Nana Artist version, 1/7 scale from Weibo's 17,740 yen. Weibo's Chinese company, but they make quality figures. Still a relatively small figure company actually. They don't have much items released yet. This is like one of those VTuber or how to put it, yeah, idol figures from the looks of it. I know nothing about this character. I would love to have those speakers behind her. I'm always looking for props, you see. I wouldn't mind having this figure on my shelf really. This is a very kawaii figure, very cute figure. And you see, you're getting all those props behind her for under 18,000 yen. This is great value, but nothing new from Chinese companies. Chinese companies, they seem to offer you a bit more value at the same price range as Japanese figure companies. So this is actually a good pre-order if you like what you're looking at. And that is all for scale figures on pre-order on the 12th of May. A lot of figures on one single Friday. Now we move down to 11th of May. This is another FGO day, right? The first one over here, oh boy, this is a 1/4 scale B-style by Free Ink. Assassin Koyanskaya of Light Final Ascension. Some of us call her Tamamo Vitch, right? This is going for almost 55,000 yen, which is very expensive. Some of you might even call this overpriced, but seriously, it is not. Let me explain. Of course, it is not overpriced. I'm referring to today's standards, by the way. You see, at 1/4 scale, this is not a typical bunny figure, right? You're getting a chair over there, you're getting a sniper rifle, and the outfit, you're getting a proper outfit, not just that bodysuit and stockings around the leg. There are a lot of extras, and when you consider the fact that a normal bunny figure nowadays, like the one you saw earlier, is about 38,500 yen. So you add 15 or 16,000 yen, you're getting a sniper rifle and a chair over there. Yes, it is very expensive, I do admit that, but I wouldn't call this overpriced. And this is a character which you do not want to mess with. You see, in the Type Moon and Fate Grand Order franchise, Tamamo has always been very popular, especially among the Japanese fans, you see. Of course, Tamamo Vitch is a lot less popular than Tamamo Caster, the Nine-tailed Fox, or Tamamo Cat, the Berserker version, right? She is the least popular of the three, but at the same time, where do you find a 1/4 scale figure of Tamamo? There are none. None of them in the market. This is the only one, you see. So I can see this figure being crazy popular, and if you want one, it is a good idea to pre-order now, because unlike many other FGO figures which their prices bargain bin after release, I seriously don't see that happening to this figure of Tamamo Vitch. She is not going to bargain bin like many other FGO characters. So grab one while you can. This is not going to be re-released at all. Freaking does not do that, and if they do, they are going to remove that white color stockings presumably. The next one here is another FGO figure. We have Lancer Mysterious Alter Ego Lambda, 1/7 scale by Good Smile Company for, well, 4,000 yen discount, 20,660 yen. You see, Good Smile Company knows that they stand no chance against the Alter version, right? They probably know that. This is probably one of those coincidences. I don't think Good Smile Company copied Alter, because the prototypes, the unpainted prototypes of both versions, the Alter and the Good Smile version, they were revealed in the very same Wonder Festival last year. It was hilarious, really. So that was obvious enough that each company have no idea what the other company are planning to do, and both ended up making the same exact figure, same exact pose, because that is what the official artwork looks like. So Good Smile is pricing this thing for 25,000 yen before any discounts, but obviously that is way too expensive for this figure, because for an additional 5,000 yen, yeah, 130k I think, you can get the Alter version. Of course, some of you think that 5,000 yen is a lot of difference. I do understand that, right? Different people have different views on how much is too much. It is a subjective thing. However, for me personally, I would rather spend that extra 5,000 yen and go for a better quality figure. Yeah, I would rather buy less number of figures, but every single one of them are high quality, over buying too many low quality figures. It makes no sense, right? I would like my collections to be, you know, premium stuff, high quality stuff. So between the Alter and the Good Smile version, I see no reason to choose the Good Smile version at all. And Good Smile probably realizes that, which is why they're putting a big discount over here for early birds. At least in AmiAmi.com, 4,000 yen off for an early bird. That is nothing to laugh at, right? That is a big discount. However, I don't think this figure is going to bin even further after release. 20,600 yen may seem cheap enough, but trust me, this thing is going to bin down to 15 or 16,000 yen after release. That is definitely going to happen. So I really can't recommend pre-ordering this figure of Lambda, even though she is 4,000 yen off in AmiAmi. What do you think? Up next, Furyu Tenitol, their own affordable series of figures. This time around, another Haikyuu character, so many of them already. Kenma Kozume, 5,800 yen, which I still can't recommend. I mentioned this before, these are just over-glorified price figures. You look at the details around his outfit, it is very obvious this is price figure quality. Perhaps they might have polished things up a bit. You don't get those mold lines on the side of the figure like you see on price figures. But the detail level, the paint quality, this is price figure level. So even it is a lowly 5,800 yen, I can't recommend this figure, yeah. The next one here from Senki Jesho Symphogear GX. This is like the third or the fourth figure under this series from the same company, Hobby Stock. This time around, Shirabe Tsukuyomi at 1/7 scale, 25,000 yen. I mentioned this before in my previous coverages of the same series but different character. If you like Senki Jesho Symphogear, pre-order it, because their figures so far, including those that have already released, the price isn't going down. They are either maintaining the same prices or even going up slightly. So you are not going to save much by waiting for the figure to release before buying it. Might as well pre-order it and secure a unit for yourself, right? Senki Jesho Symphogear is a bit like Love Live or, yeah, that, what do you call that, Uma Musume earlier. Outside of Japan, we don't hear much about them, but in Japan, they are crazy popular. And that alone is enough to drive the prices up after release. The next one here, this is a head scratcher to me, you see. From Heaven Burns Raid, we have Tama Konimi 1/8 scale at under 3,000 yen from a company called El Coco. This is a proper scale figure, and the height of this figure is, yeah, 1/8 scale, 18 centimeters, because this is a lolly character. This is still 1 centimeter taller than pop-up rates. Pop-up rates are around 16 to 17 centimeters tall. And at least based on these official product photos over here, this isn't pop-up parade or Furyu Tenitol quality. The paint work on this seem to be quite a lot better. Look at the hair over there. There are some gradients going on, right? This is better than pop-up parade in terms of the paint work, and for 3,000 yen, seriously? You see, I don't know anything about this character. I don't know much about Heaven Burns Rate. But the lowly price alone is making me feel like pre-ordering one. Out of curiosity, I want to see what the figure is like after release. Is the company going to keep up with their promise of this level of quality we are looking at in these product photos? My guess is very likely not. There are going to be some downgrades after she is being released, after she is being mass produced, but still, this is cheaper than pop-up rate. Try to brain that for a second. It doesn't matter at all, right? We don't know anything about this company. This might be a new name with no track record, but it does not matter at all because it is 3,000 yen. So would you try to pre-order something like this? Let me know down in the comments below. We move on to the next figure. From the very same company and the same series, Yuki Izumi 1/8 scale, 2,700 yen. I am very curious indeed. So they are coming out this September. I would love to pre-order both, to be honest, and review them, because why not? We get a closer look on the figures of a new company no one has heard of, right? But September is a very expensive month for me. I think there are Genshin scale figures coming out in September. Yeah. And that is all for figures on pre-order on the 11th of May. We go down to the 10th of May. There is only one single scale figure. This is also a re-release Mika Pikachu cat-made complete figure by Union Creative, 19,200 yen. So if a figure like this is getting a re-release, it means that she is popular enough to have demand for the company to make more, which indirectly means this figure is likely to be a good one coming from Union Creative. So if you like the character design, yes, go for it. I mean, you can look for the user photos online in myfigurecollection.net. This is a re-release after all. Check out the photos if you like what you're looking at. Yes, pre-order one. Sometimes figure companies, they make one figure bad and the other one good, right? And when they do make good products, those rare occasions where they do deliver, give them some support, right? Now we move on to the 9th of May. There are quite a number of scale figures on this Tuesday as well. The first one over here from Mietos, a Chinese company. Honor of the Kings Daji Qing Chiu, 90th Fox version, 1/7 scale for 32,500 yen. Yes, very pricey, but I think we can already see why this is expensive. You're getting a really unique base over there with this figure. And as usual, nowadays, Mietos, they seem to be the leading figure brands in China. Mietos and Apex are having a very close fight over there. These two are among the best figure brands, licensed figure brands in China at the moment. However, Mietos are making characters from these games or original character designs, which I'm not interested in, so I haven't been buying their figures much. You see, the face expression and the details on the outfit, this is fantastic, but at the same time, to be expected from Mietos. And for the most part, Mietos, they do deliver on the promises shown in their official product photos. So if you like what you're looking at, yes, go ahead and pre-order this one. If you can read Chinese, of course, go to Taobao, go to Chinese websites and get it over there. They are actually marginally cheaper in China compared to in Japan with these figures. The next one here, this is a re-release from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. We have a 1/7 scale figure of Pyra for 20,166 yen. 20,000 yen. This thing is worth a lot more. This was a Wonder Festival exclusive many years ago. It was very expensive as a 20,000 yen figure back then, but now the yen has depreciated considerably. This figure was so popular that the aftermarket prices were at least double the official pricing. And to get a re-release, this kind of proves that exclusivity sometimes means nothing in anime figures. Hobby, Japan exclusive, Kotobukiya shop exclusive, they all mean nothing, right? Figure companies, if they are looking for profits, they will not hesitate to re-release a so-called limited figure. As for whether you should grab this figure, an absolute yes. Especially to those of you who love Xenoblade but you missed out your first chance. Get this one, this is your second chance. In fact, I'm surprised this isn't more expensive. And you will know why later. The next figure coming up. Okay, we'll get over with this figure over here first. This is also from Xenoblade Chronicles to Kos-Mos. 1x7 scale, 22,000 yen. This is also an excellent figure. Also a re-release, single shipment, and she is coming out in May. If you missed out the first one, yes, go for this one as well. Xenoblade is, especially this character Kos-Mos, she is an evergreen character, like Evangelion characters. Over the years, there has been so many figures of them being made, but this one right here by Good Smile, this is one of the best versions out there. Go for this figure if you like Kos-Mos. You just look at the amount of details on this figure with those two huge cannons she's holding. 22,000 yen. I do think that sometimes it is not the manufacturing cost or the details, the amount of details on the figure that is affecting the pricing of these figures, you see. It has to be the licensing cost. That is the only explanation, because the next figure, this one right here, this one makes no sense at all, right? Shakugan no Shana, the Flame Hat Burning Eye Hunter Shana, 1x7 scale. This one is normally 38,000 yen, you see. And you're getting 6,000 yen off. 6,460 yen off if you pre-order early, 31,540 on AmiAmi. But when we look at the official pricing of 38,000 yen, this makes no sense at all, because this figure, the overall height of the figure is only 25.5 centimeters. You see from the bottom of the base all the way to the top of her left wing, the tip on top, 25.5 centimeters. This is a small figure, don't be fooled, right? Because the whole figure is being suspended in mid-air. This can't be a big figure at 25 centimeters, and she cost 38,000 yen. The main reason why old school anime characters are so expensive when they are being made into merchandise or figures 20-30 years later after the anime ad is because they want to capitalize on nostalgia. You see, fans of these old school animes, they are rich working adults today, in their 30s, 40s years old. They are in their prime of their careers as well. They are making a lot of money. So naturally, you will want to target this group of rich people to make them pay up for this nostalgia, assuming they are still collecting figures and anime merchandise, of course. This is the same exact strategy Bandai has been doing on anything Digimon related. A lot of exclusive stuff on Digimon stuff, and they are very, very, very expensive because Digimon, the first 3 seasons, they were the most popular. They were from the 1990s to 2000s, and the very same group of fans, yeah, they are in their rich working adult lives nowadays, and they can afford this stuff. So what is happening over here is that Good Smile is pulling off a Bandai over here. They are selling nostalgia to rich veterans in the anime fandom. And these people, they are more than willing to pay for it. Yeah, it works, right? Bandai use this strategy a lot because it works. And back to this figure, 38,000 yen does not make any sense at all. Do not pre-order this figure in Good Smile's online shop. If you absolutely need to pre-order one, yeah, AmiAmi is a good place to pre-order for 31,000 yen. 31k is still very expensive for a figure like this one. And if you were hoping for her to drop in price after release, I can't say that might necessarily happen because you don't have much choices. Your second choice is the Kadokawa Yukata version. These two are your only choices if you want a modern figure of Shana. You see, maybe she might drop to 25,000 yen, but below that, I'm not sure if that would even happen. So if you want to be sure to get this figure, then AmiAmi is a good place to get this figure right now. That is all for the figures on pre-order on the 9th of May. We move down to the 8th of May, the last figure for the week on AmiAmi. We still have more in niningame.com later. Okay, so the last figure over here, this is a 1x7 scale figure of Sonya by Wings Company for 18,800 yen. Is this very not safe for work or what? They cropped off the picture. Oh, a nude lolly. I love it. 19,000 yen for something like this is not bad at all. I would love to have one, seriously, but because of priorities, yeah, I have other figures to buy. I'll have to skip this one. Very unfortunate. Now we jump over to niningame.com for a second. The first two figures over here, 32,490 yen each. Yeah, I couldn't put them on screen for very obvious reasons. They're X-rated. Go and check them out if you're interested. These two Nikan Shoujo figures at 1x4 scale. Yeah, 33k at 1x4 scale is a great price, but the figure company behind these two figures inside, this is where the saucy part comes in. One of you guys who actually watch my channel, thank you for watching, you told me that Inside is actually the X-rated division of Beeful and Forts Japan. Oh boy, this is a very interesting and saucy news to me. This is something spicy over here. We all know how bad the reputation of Beeful and Forts Japan are. And if this is true, I would really love to see what the final products of these figures look like. I would love to check out the photos in MFC later. Check out any figures that are already released. And yeah, we'll try to verify whether that is the case, whether the figures turn out to be really bad or fragile. Yeah, there were stories behind this brand, and that is all coming from you guys who informed me about that. Thank you very much. Okay, and then we keep on scrolling. Okay, there is this pair of figures over here, JK drying hair over there. We take a quick look. So this figure over here, original character, JK drying hair 1x6 scale, illustrated by Kase Daiki, by Beeful and Forts Japan. This one is going for 17,426 yen on discount, normally 19,580 yen. Okay. You see, I really can't recommend anything from Beeful or Forts Japan at all, but somehow, some people out there, they continue to buy them for some reason. Maybe because they like the artwork, the original artwork of this character so much that they don't care anymore whether the figure turns out to be good or bad. They just buy the figure, all because they love the artwork. That is the only explanation I can think of. I really can't recommend you guys to waste money on figures like this. There is a second version of this figure over here. I won't click on the pictures, but basically she is bottomless. She's not wearing anything below. This one is by Inside instead. You see, Ninin Game, they are putting a warning over there. There are known issues with this maker regarding the manufacturing quality and fragility of their figures. Parts are broken easily regardless of proper care with packaging, and products often have imperfections. We will not be able to accept any exchange, compensation or refund for any issue upon arrival. I guess this confirms that Inside figures are just as bad as Beeful and Forts Japan figures. So thank you very much for the heads up. Anyways, that concludes this week's figure news fix for figures on pre-order between 8th to 13th of May 2023. Until then, I'll see you guys again very soon. Which figure will you pre-order this week? Let me know. And thank you very much. See you soon. Goodbye.